Hi, I'm Kerry. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm making an art journal spread about bats. Just jesting with my pages here before I start working. Basically, the thing about bats that I found out was children used to have a special chant for them, which is kind of contrary to the common misconception that bats get stuck in your hair. They used to sing, "Bat, bat, fly under my hat," and it used to be a good luck sign. So it's kind of a different take on bats to the Halloween one that probably everyone thinks of. So I'm just adding gelatos here to the back of the page, purples and blues, just to create a nice swishy background. Blending them with baby wipes again. Just adding some fluffy pink clouds. Just really abstracted shapes. So I've used two colours of pink here, so when I blend them you get interesting depth in the colour. Adding some grass, so basically the direction of the marks are different to the marks for the sky, so these are all up and down marks. So you get that basic texture when you blend them out. Adding 2 shades of green again to get the variation. And these are metallic gelatos, so they look better than on the video. They kind of look shiny. Please excuse me if you can hear a humming noise in the background. It's my dehumidifier. Okay, so this is Dovecraft pigment ink, and I'm just using it to stencil through some letters because the theme of this art journal spread is about a children's chant. I thought that alphabet stencil would be appropriate. So I've just cut this stencil out with my silhouette machine, and it refused to cut the last few letters on the bottom line, or numbers I should say, so I'm not sure why that is. I think there may be some sort of a fault with it. Just wiping off the ink and then adding some green ink into the grass. So this is just to add texture and interest to the background. Whoops, moved the stencil there. Have to be very careful not to move the stencils so that you get a nice clean print. Okay, so that was a bat stamp that I made using a beeswax mould and rubber latex, and I'm not sure that if you can see that, I had the impression that it's actually making very clearly from this height, but anyway, it's a bat shape. It works quite well because they actually adhere to the acrylic blocks. So oh, and there's my hat stencil, so it's bat fly under my hat. So I've made a stencil of a load of caps, and I'm just using the golden moulding paste, which is whiter than other modelling pastes that I've seen, just to add some further dimension to the background. So there's a couple of ones that didn't come through properly, so I'm just going to scrape those off now, which is really easy. And then these need to dry for quite a while, but I did use a heat tool to speed up the process a bit. Okay, so here I'm just cutting out some templates for a wedding cake, a child holding a piece of wedding cake, and then a bat. And what I'm basically going to do is use these templates and use double-sided sticky tape on them to add some glitter. And then I've got a template, I've got a shape of the wedding cake in the background in pink. I think I missed a little bit of this video recording here, but I'm adding the layers of the cake on, and then they will receive the glitter. So I'm just showing you the process for cutting out this cake, and then I do the bat and the boy off screen. Just checking which way round it goes. And I had some trouble peeling this double-sided sticky tape off the, you know, the little protective layers that are on the double-sided sticky tape. I had a hell of a job peeling them off the tape. So luckily I could speed the video up a bit. There we go. Oh my goodness. It really was frustrating. Anyway, got it in the end. And I'm using the Nouveau glitter, which is really, really fine, and it gives you such a nice glimmer. I try to show it to you under the camera. I think you'll get a good view of it. And basically this is a waxed paper, so I'm just pressing it down into the tape to avoid bits coming off. It's so sparkly. Okay, so here are all the other layers going on. Okay, and just trimming around the edges where they've not matched up exactly, because I've probably put them on using the wrong side, and then just peeling those off again. Yay! And I did some white glitter. Not sure, I think you can just about see that. Anyway, it's really pretty. Right, so this is how I made my my boy shape. I've just turned the pattern paper over, so I'm tracing around the shape on the back, and remember to turn the shape over on the other side when you want to use your template. Okay, I just cut this little guy out, and then I have to create his outfit, which as you can see is there. I didn't think you wanted to see me tediously cutting out all of that and that's the little piece of cake. So it's just a tiny little slice really. And this is the bat I had already cut off camera. So these pieces don't show up very well from here, so I added an outline which you'll see in the final piece, but I didn't record myself doing that. So I just used Tombow markers to create the outline at the end. Okay, there's this slice of cake, which you'll understand when you see the poem that comes up in a minute. It's wedding cake. So this is a brown pigment ink by Dove Crafts, and I'm just using my ink blending tool to go around the edges and add a little bit of a border. It's quite nice to add a border because it just it frames a piece, makes it look finished. Okay, so I'm just going to write this poem on here, and I tried my white pen, but it didn't like writing on the gelato background. And then I tried a brown Pitt pen, which also wasn't too keen on writing the gelato background. So then I used a brush pen, which eventually did enable me to write on the background. And the poem that has inspired this piece goes: airy mouse, fly over my head, and you shall have a crust of bread. And when I brew and when I bake, you shall have a slice of my wedding cake. And this was a little chant that children used to say to bats, and airy mouse was another word for bat. And my shadow is right in the way there. But with the magic of telly, here's the piece with the outlined motifs on it. Thanks ever so much for watching, and hope you'll join me again.